Hello everyone. My name is Ganesh Totala. I am residing in Pune. I am ME in ENTC in Signal Processing Branch. I've been tutoring mathematics for the past 6 years. I teach mathematics for all boards, be it IB, ICSC, CBSC, or even the state boards. So my area of expertise are maths, calculus from standard 9, from grade 9 till engineering level. So to continue our discussion with today, I have selected one topic called as logarithms. So let's discuss what these logarithms are and what are the laws of logarithms and how can we apply logarithms in our day-to-day routine. So let's go ahead. Logarithms, which are commonly called as logs. This logs or logarithms plays very important role in mathematics. Suppose if we have a very huge number and like for example, if we have number say 10 lakhs. So 10 lakhs is a number which is a huge number. If you keep on writing, if you have even more numbers, if you have more bigger numbers, you just keep on adding zeros again and again. So obviously that becomes a very tedious task. Also, in case of if you're designing any processor or any kind of application, and there you find like you have a very large range of numbers, so obviously computer or the processor, it takes time to read that particular number. So in order to minimize that time, logarithm is one such scale such that we can convert this bigger number or the huge number into a smaller number. So let's begin with what is the definition of logarithms. So logarithms is basically a scale, a numeric scale in which we can represent a number. The definition of logarithm is, in order to know what is logarithms, it's necessary first we must know what is an exponential functions. So let's see what is an exponential function. So any function of the form y is equal to a to the power of x, where x is an independent variable, y is a dependent variable, and a is the base. When I say it's an independent variable, that means the value of x will keep on changing. When I say the y as dependent variable, which means the value of y will be dependent on the x, like how the x improves or how the x change. Similarly, the value of y will also change. Hence, x is called as independent variable and y is called as a dependent variable. So y is equal to a to the power of x is actually called as an exponential function. Logarithm and exponential functions are inverse of each other. So when we say y is equal to a to the power of x, then I have to write down x in terms of y. Writing down x in terms of y is actually called as logarithm. So how can we write it down? So we know that y is equal to a to the power of x. Therefore, log of y to the base a is nothing but x. So this is the definition of logarithms. So log of y to the base a is equal to x. And how do we read it? We read it like this. Logarithm of y to the base a is equal to x. I hope the definition is clear. Now, when I say that log of y to the base a is equal to x, that means I'll have to put a condition on the value of y should always be greater than 0 because logs are not defined for negative numbers. Okay. Now, so this is logarithms. Now, there are different types of logarithms. For example, we have decimal logs, also called as decimal logarithms. We have natural logarithms, also called as Neparian logarithms. So decimal logs are the logarithms with base as 10, whereas natural logarithms are the logarithms with base e. E is also called as a Neparian number, and this Neparian number is actually an irrational number similar to that of pi. The value of e is roughly 2.71, same as that of pi. We know that pi is an irrational number, and the value of pi turns out to be 3.142. So decimal logs we have where the base is 10. Natural log we have where the base is e. We also have one more log called as binary log, in that the base is 2. We will be using decimal log and natural log throughout a curriculum in maths as well as in calculus. Logarithms, they are the foundations of calculus, because when we will study calculus like limits, derivatives, integrations, definitely we will have to work on logarithms. So as I said, we have y is equal to a to the power of x is an exponential function. In this case, I can write down x as log of y to the base a. When the value of a is 10, I can write down x is equal to log of y to the base 10. This it is called as a decimal log, and x is equal to log of y to the base e, which we oftenly write it as x is equal to ln of y. This is called as a natural log or an Aparian log. So let's begin with the next part, that is law of logarithm. Laws in logarithms. Laws of logarithms are very important part in logarithm as well as in calculus. Most of the students, they definitely have confusions in laws of logarithms. So I'm here to sort it out, that confusion for you. The first law, it is called as the addition law. It's called as an addition law. Now, what does this addition law state? Suppose if we have two numbers, and suppose if we have a and b are two numbers. So if I take the logs of two numbers, that is log a, and add them, log a plus log b, this is equal to log of product of two numbers. So the first law, also called as addition law, it states log of the product of two numbers is always equal to the addition of the respective logarithms. Most of the students, they confuse this law with this. Log of a plus log of b is equal to log of a plus b, which is absolutely wrong. We don't write log of a plus b as log a plus log b. Instead, log a plus log b is always equal to log ab. This is very important. Suppose, let's consider one example on this law. Suppose if I have log of 10, I need to find out the log of 10. So this I can write it as log of, I know that 10, I can write it as 2 into 5. So it is log of 2 into 5. Now using the concept of log of AB, this is equal to log A plus log B. I hope this law is clear. Moving on to the next law, that is called as the division law or the subtraction law. Why division law and subtraction law? I'll tell you when we see the law. Suppose I have log of A by B now. Like if it's a fraction, A by B, this log of a by b, I can write it as log of a minus log of b. That means logarithm of a fraction is always equal to the subtraction of logarithm of the numerator to the logarithm of denominator. It is very important law. Again, most of the student commits mistake here. They treat log of a minus log of b as log of a minus b, which is again incorrect. And there's also one more mistake that students make here is log of a by b, they will write it as log of a divided by log of b, which is again a wrong law. But this is not a law. This is not valid in terms of logarithms. So log of a by b is always equals to log of a minus log of b. This is the law. I hope it's understood. Let's try one example on this. Suppose if I have to find out log of 10 by 3. So it is log of a by b the form. So just write down it is log of numerator minus log of denominator. I hope it's clear. This is the second law. The third law of logarithm, it is called as a power law. And power law, trust me, is very important law in mathematics, in calculus as well. Now, what is this power law? Suppose if I have log of x to the power of m. Note, the power is only for x and the power is not for complete log x raised to m. This is very important thing to be noted here. Log of x to the power of m, it is always equal to m into log of x. Just place this m before the log. So log of x raised to m is always equal to m into log of x. Again, the prone area where the students commit mistake is what they will do. Log of x raised to m, they will write it as m into log of x, which is incorrect. Because when I'm talking about the power, that power should always be for x and not for log x. Okay, so we have log x raised to m is equal to m log x. Now, for example, I have to find out the value of log of 8. I know that 8, we can write it as 2 cube. So just use the power law, log of x raised to m. This is equal to, just shift this before the log. So I will be having 3 log 2. I hope these three laws are clear. These three laws are the basic and the base of logarithms. If we face any issues in these three laws, then we'll have to practice logarithms a lot so that the issue won't persist. So I hope you have understood these laws. So in this video, we have basically talked upon what is logarithms, where do we use logarithms, and what are the laws of logarithms. So in the next video, we will see how to solve logarithmic equations.